All right, for our straight pour today, we're going to be using some Liquitex colors and our Artist Loft Flow Acrylics white. Hey everybody, April here. We're going to use my Lazy Susan today and my Liquitex paints and see if we can't make something cool. I've seen a lot of these straight pours lately where all you're doing is rotating the canvas on the Lazy Susan. So hopefully this will turn out pretty great. So first I'm going to just layer my paints into my cup. And I've chosen an aqua blue, a purple, and an ultramarine blue. And I'm going to use white in between so that I can keep those colors a little bit separate. I'm going to speed this up here for you guys. It's pretty boring watching someone just pour paint into a cup. So as you can tell, I'm just layering my color, my white, my color, my white, my color, my white, until I've got pretty much a full cup. I wasn't sure if I would need the full cup to cover this little tiny canvas or not. So I just filled it up and figured I'd run off what was left, and I can always scrape it off of my Lazy Susan and put it into a cup to use on another pour. And so I also decided that I wanted to take my stick and run it through the paint, just to not mix them, but just change so they weren't so straight layered. And so now I'm going to try to pour as slowly as I possibly can and rotate the Lazy Susan at the same time. I have never, ever tried one of these, and I didn't realize how hard it would be to kind of keep that Lazy Susan moving at an even pace. I found it quite difficult actually to pay attention to where I was pouring the paint, how fast the paint was coming out, and moving the Lazy Susan, and then having to shift my hand back up. Yeah, it was kind of a little trickier than it looks on the surface. So I found almost immediately that this was making a pretty cool pattern, and so I wanted to keep that going and see if I could make something that looked kind of feathery and light. And actually, I thought this would be very blue heavy, but that purple seemed to really kind of take over. I wasn't upset about it though. I was definitely liking the way it was coming out. I was trying to keep my pour in the center for a while, and then I moved out a little bit more towards the edge here, as you can see, and I decided I'm going to go in the other direction and see what happens with that. And that's right when this thin line of like white and blue came through, and I was just in love with it. Once again, I'm having issues trying to keep the canvas moving at an even pace and pour at the same time. But so far, it's working out. I'm like loving the way this looks. And the whole time I'm pouring, I'm thinking in my head, how am I going to make sure that I move this paint around on the canvas so that it looks nice still, you know? Do I want to rotate the Lazy Susan and spread the paint out that way? Do I want to pick it up and tilt it? Am I going to do a combination of both? I don't know. Once again, this is my first try at this, so I had no idea what to really expect from it. So I'm just emptying my cup, putting a little extra paint around the edges so that the paint can move a little better. And look at that. Just look at it. It's so cool. So now I'm nervous because I don't want to lose how cool this looks. I was going to pick it up and tilt it, but I don't know if I want to do that. So in the end, I decided that it would probably be better if I rotated it first. So I got my gloves on and I was gonna pick it up and tilt it, and then I thought, I don't know if I should do that. See, I even had everything set up so I could go ahead and tilt this and it would be great and I wouldn't get my Lazy Susan covered in paint. And then I thought, I don't think I want to do that. I think I'm going to actually spin it. Look at how pretty that is. Oh, I love it. If I could have kept it exactly the way it was, I would have done that in a heartbeat. So we're going to bring the Lazy Susan back and give her a spin. And the paint moved really well. I was kind of impressed with that. I didn't think, because I didn't spin it very fast, but it definitely shifted enough to start covering the edges. And it was almost all covered. Almost. So now I had some decisions to make. How do I want to move this so that it maintains most of this composition, but I can dump some of this paint off? Because I also found out that filling that whole cup up was a little bit more paint than I really needed on this particular size canvas. So I figured I've got to dump some of this paint. Pardon my light reflection in the wet paint. One of these days I'll get better lighting in this garage. I absolutely love, love, love the blue around the edge. It looks like jagged feathers of some sort. But I also so much loved the center of this because it looked much more delicate and it looked like a purple phoenix to me. It's like the only thing I could think of in my mind is what that looked like. So I was trying to stretch that out and make it larger, but I didn't want to lose too much of that blue and white around the edges. This one was a tough one to tilt, I will say that. And the more I tilted it, the more I found that I liked one corner of it better, but that I tilted something else that I liked and I didn't want to lose. So I'd have to tilt it another way. And this is one of those classic cases of I messed with it too much. At least I felt that way while I was doing it. I was like, I'm moving this paint around way too much, and I'm going to end up distorting this image, and I don't know what I'm going to do. Especially since, I only mixed up a little bit of those paints. I didn't have very much left. It's not like I could scrape it and try it again. I didn't think I'd get the same effect because, paint pouring is a wonderful art form, but man, you can't duplicate exactly something that you've done before. You can get close, but you can't exactly duplicate it. So finally, I think, okay, this is about where I want it to be. And I've got to kind of force myself to just leave it alone. Because if I don't, I'm forget it. All right, here's the close-up. These colors went so well together. So beautiful. I just love it. It looks sharp yet delicate at the same time. Let me know what you think, you guys. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, subscribe to my channel, please. I'd really appreciate it. Let me know in the comments if you think this painting came out cool. Yeah, and I will see you next time.